Garrett Raebel is suing his ex-girlfriend, Tiffany Einberger, for breaking their lease and for unpaid utility bills. Tiffany is countersuing for the cost of vet bills, the return of a Great Dane, and a TV.
Mr. Raebel, where were you living at the time that you met the defendant?
In Woodville, Wisconsin.
Who were you living with?
I was living by myself.
You had an apartment or a room?
I had a duplex.
Is it a rental?
Yes, ma'am.
How much were you paying in rent?
$625 a month, plus utilities.
You met the defendant in what month and year?
I would have been the beginning of July in 2009.
And when did you decide to move in together?
We had hung out quite a bit, basically every day since the day we met, and she had talking about her place that she had.
What date did you move in together?
It would have been about the middle towards end of July.
And at that time, you moved into a new place?
No, she moved into my place.
How long had you been living there?
I had been living there approximately 3 months, I believe.
Are you still living there?
Yes, Your Honor.
So she moved into your apartment?
Yes.
And the two of you then signed a lease for her to be in your apartment?
When the lease came due in December of 2009 is when we signed for 6 months.
How long was your lease before that?
6 months is what I do it at.
All right, the case is getting easier. In any event, she moved out shortly thereafter in January. You want her to pay her half of the rent for 6 months.
On the lease that she signed, yes, ma'am.
That's not happening.
Okay.
That's not happening. I mean, I don't particularly buy an excuse. Her excuse was her children didn't like you. You were a little too harsh with them. That comes under the category of you should be smart enough not to move in with somebody that you don't know.
I know that now.
Especially when you have children. Young children. You figure out before you move in with them, not afterwards, and you certainly don't sign a lease. But you were living there. You paid the rent before you met her, right?
Yes.
You paid the utilities before you met her, right?
Yes.
You're going to continue to pay them, right?
Yes.
Where were you working before you met her?
I was working for myself for affordable towing.
And you're still working for yourself for affordable towing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, continue to pay your rent. You have a nice apartment. That's it. So I'm not dealing with your lawsuit. You're not out any money. You have the same rent. You have the same utilities.
Well, I had a signed contract.
Listen to me very carefully. You have to show damages. You have none. If you had moved out of your apartment and moved into a new apartment and signed a new lease with her, and you had increased responsibilities, increased liability.
Which I did as soon as she moved in.
Just a second. Increased liability, we'd be talking. You have none. The day she moved out, whatever increase in utilities there were, no longer existed because she's not there anymore. You understand me, sir?
I
you
do
get nothing.
understand you to
Zero.
a point.
Judge.
Now, let's deal with her counterclaim. Do you have her television?
That television was bought to me for Christmas and my birthday present by her.
No. He had bought me a car.
Just a second. She bought you the TV for Christmas.
And my birthday.
And when is your birthday?
January 16th. She had bought it when she got her first college tuition check in the fall.
She bought the TV in the fall.
Yep.
For Christmas and your birthday that was in December and January.
Yes, ma'am.
She comes and picks up her TV within 5 days. Now, let's deal with the dog, because this is your counterclaim.
Yep.
Where are you living now?
I'm currently living with my roommate at an apartment where I'm not allowed to have pets.
Then forget the dog. You want the dog?
No.
You can't have it.
I don't want it. He told me when I moved out that I couldn't have it. I had a place for him, and then that fell through, and now he wants to keep him, or had wanted to.
Just a second. That's too bad.
I don't want the dog.
You want the dog?
No.
Then you don't get any money for the dog.
What about the vet bills?
You don't get any money for that either.
Okay.
But you do get your TV back because you don't buy an early birthday present for somebody, an early Christmas for somebody in October.
How about the car she totaled out that I bought her that I had to pay for everything? That was.
I don't care. She's coming within 5 days to get her TV. That's the way I've resolved this case. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Go have a happy life.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Moves out because of a boyfriend or whatever excuse she was trying to make up. I don't know.
He no longer gets to bother me.
Can't even believe it.
Hopefully he leaves me alone from here on out.
She moved in and started getting real argumentative the last month.
He became abusive to my children. He became physically and verbally abusive, and I just needed to get out of there for the sake of my children.
I had bought her a car, a phone, everything. I dumped the phone records. Come to find out she'd been screwing around with this guy since the 12th of January.
What happened was I was talking to a friend of mine who's in a band, and he kind of helped me through the process of, you need to get out of there. This really isn't a safe environment, and that's kind of what woke me up.
There was no other excuse but that. She'd found somebody else.
The other thing was my son telling me that he wanted to go live with his father due to the fact that he didn't like Garrett.
She just left on a Thursday, never came home except about 4 days later to pick up some clothes to go party with.